It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty woods, a neighborly day for a beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor just like you. I've always wanted to live in this neighborhood with you, so let's make the most of this beautiful day. Since we're together, we might as well say, would you be mine? Could you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor? Hello, television neighbors. Glad we're together again today. Television neighbors. I just saw Wolf Blitzer a while ago, and he invited us to come to his CNN news network room in a few moments to show us around in his newsroom. But before he called us, I got a few things I like to show you first. This is a Snow White puppet. This is a Friends Season 3 bookmark, and this is a Get Rewarded Disney's movie rewards. Now, I think Wolf Blitzer is now giving us a call so we can go over and see his neighborhood CNN news network room. So let me call Wolf Blitzer and see if we could go over to his neighborhood CNN news network room. So let me give him a call. Is this Wolf Blitzer?
Yes, this is Mr. Blitzer.
This is Victor Sprinkle from Victor Sprinkle's neighborhood.
Oh, Victor Sprinkle, I'm a big fan of yours. VSN, I like to call it. Kind of rhymes with CNN.
My television neighbors and I were wondering if we could go over and visit your CNN News Network room.
Well, sure. I'm here just fiddling around, getting ready for my next performance. Come on over.
All right. Well, let's go over and visit our neighborhood CNN News Network room. Come along to meet the one and only Wolf Blitzer. Mr. Wolf Blitzer, how are you? It's good to see you.
Mr. Victor Sprinkle, I am well. How are you?
I'm doing just fine.
Oh, great. Well, welcome to CNN.
I would like you to meet my television friend.
That's right. We're on TV right now, aren't we?
Yes, this is Mr. Wolf Blitzer.
Hello, television neighbors. How are you all? I am honored to have you here in my humble studio.
So, Wolf.
Yes, Victor.
I heard from Mr. Joe Negri that when you were 10 years old, you loved to take your cameras and take a few shots at his music shop. Is that true?
It is true. I had a little brownie box camera that had film, and it was just a little box, and Mr. Negri every once in a while would have a famous musician come into his shop, and he'd always give me a heads up because he knew I aspired to be a news reporter. So I'd grab my little brownie box camera and I'd head over to his music shop, and I would sit quiet as a mouse so that nobody would even notice me, but I would take a picture once in a while.
Do you know what he says that he reminded you of? Wynton Marsalis and Mr. Yo-Yo Ma.
Oh, that was wonderful when he had them over to the music shop. I mean, who would think in our little town, Joe Negri, of all people, having Winston Marsalis come over and Yo-Yo Ma. Unbelievable.
Now,
I have their photos at home.
Now, I also heard when you were 8 years old that you had some fond memories with your father, Mr. Blitzer, when he took you around in his news studio.
Well, my father was in the news business, as you know, and when I was only 8 years old, he did take me once to his studio. And things were different back then. There was a great big TV camera that actually had film in it, and it exposed film. And I remember very clearly because sadly the cameraman wasn't paying attention, and when he turned his huge camera, the back end of it whacked me in the side of the head so hard it almost knocked me out. I'll never forget that.
Now tell me, Wolf.
Yes, Victor.
Did you ever have sad feelings or angry feelings or good feelings about your business in the news world?
Absolutely. Probably my saddest and angriest moments were covering Holocaust survivors. And at the same time, some of them were my happiest moments, because these people that endured so much and lost so much persevered and went on to lead, some of them, remarkable lives. So yes, I'd have to say there's a lot of emotion in my work.
Well, Mr. Blitzer, I thank you for letting me and my television neighbor to come and visit your CNN newsroom, and I'm honored.
Well, the feeling is mutual, Mr. Sprinkle. May I call you Victor?
Yes.
And you may call me Wolf. We are now fast friends. Very nice to meet you. Very nice to meet you, television neighbors. And you'd better get back to your studio because you've run over your time limit on this episode.
Scott Pelley, I'll see you for just a brief moment in the neighborhood of make-believe. We have just a few more minutes for some make-believe before we end our show. So, Trolley, Scott Pelley has been asking King Friday to do an interview with Daniel Tiger and Anna Platypus for a special news report on food safety. Let's make believe some more about that now, shall we? Alright, Charlie. Neighborhood of make believe. Scott Pelley, news anchor, an interview with Daniel Tiger and Anna Platypus, I presume.
Your Highness, you scared me with your deep, commanding voice, but yes, it is I.
Now tell me, Mr. Pelley, I hear that you're getting an interview with Daniel Tiger and Anna Platypus about food safety.
That's my hope and expectation, Your Highness, but they have not signed a contract, and so I don't know about tigers and platypuses, or is it platypi?
It's
Platypuses?
it is platypuses.
Oh, well, I just don't know if they'll honor their commitment, their verbal commitment. We'll find out.
I'm Daniel Strike the Tiger, and I'm really excited to be on this special news interview.
Well, Daniel Strike the Tiger, you have a pretty interesting costume on there. I never would have guessed that beneath that pink exterior lies an orange and black striped tiger.
Well, we have to say goodbye. Bye, Trolley.
Goodbye.
Well, we'll just have to make believe about that special interview the next time we're together. You know, being so adorable is trying to find out what kind of news interview you like to choose. And when you feel so adorable and your friends like to be on the news, you can feel so adorable about it too. It's such a good feeling to know you're alive. It's such a happy feeling. You're growing inside, and when you wake up ready to say, I think I'll make a snappy new day. It's such a good feeling, a very good feeling. The feeling you know that I'll be back when the week is new, and I'll have more ideas for you, and you'll have things you want to talk about. I will too. Until tomorrow, television neighbors, so long.